What up, fam? Got a news reporter, Mayor Dash, Mary Lee. Today is September the 29th, 2022. Thursday in my city, Chicago. It is early. It's about 5:03, but it says 5:04. I'm going to say it's about 5:03 a.m. Yep. I want to dedicate this video to all the lesbians out there, the aggressives. I've done this before, and I don't think I'm making myself clear. You know, if you don't know by now, my name is Mary Lee. I'm Dash Twin and Mary Lee, aka Mary Mac. Don't forget to do the same thing with that. Your ghetto news reporter, an originator of rap music since the age of 8, 1975. Now, I said all that to say this. I stand tall for myself, stand up for myself. I will fight and even die for myself. But not only that, for my higher power who helped me to be myself. Now, all my life I've been, I know you probably thought I was going to say all my life I had to fight. You know what I'm saying? But no, all my life I've been standing up for myself. And, I'm not understanding why the aggressives, the girls that were probably once pretty little babies and girls and now look just as hard as me or a guy or someone other than what they used to look like, doesn't stand up when I know this is our season, if that's what you want to call it, our time, our destiny for us to come together. They have a group on YouTube called Studs Unite. And, I did a video to that. I did a rap to that video, I should say. And I went hard, I ain't gonna lie, because, I go hard in the paint. They say go hard or go home, right? Hustle, hustle, hustle hard. But look, this is not a hustle. This is my life. This is my life story. This is my story of being a child abuse victim and fighting for child abuse victims and still fighting for child abuse victims. And for the girls who have come out of what you might call whatever situation they was in, whether it was child trafficking, prostitution, gang banging, or just a domestic violence relationship, and don't speak out, it's like leaving a bad taste in my mouth. I woke up this morning uh, several times, but I woke up at 3:43 a.m. and the battery that was left on my phone was 34%. And everybody knows Milwaukee Bucks won the championship in 1967, one of the years. And I was born May 25th, 1967. But not only that, I'm going to tell you a couple of stories that when I was homeless in Milwaukee, that happened to me. And then I'm going to tell you a story of, and it's all true, at least mine is, about a so-called friend of mine by the name of Pilar Harris. Now, when I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they put me there as a little girl, about 13 years old, in a place called Willow Glen Academy. And it was for people who had disability problems or whatever, for teenagers or whatever the case may be. Now, I don't have a disability problem. I'm not, mentally challenged. I don't like to say the word crazy or retarded. But I believe my higher power was trying to hide me from people who was trying to eliminate me because I am the originator of rap music and wanted me to gain a lot of experience and things of that nature. Now, while I was there, my caseworker, before, she left me there, gave me a pair of skates. When I first got there, the staff was always trying to strap me down and give me drugs and make it seem as though I'm a problematic person, because I was standing up for myself from the ones who probably were just acting like they were crazy or whatever. Because you got a lot of people that be acting. You have a lot of actors in the world. You got gay actors. You got all kind of actors and stuff. And I didn't know the importance of my life back then. So at the time, I was rebelling and things of that nature and stuff, and fighting back or whatever, and fighting staff and, you know, the people who got too close to me, I just like, why is you messing with me? You understand what I'm saying? And so after I got tired of fighting staff and the residents, so some of them, not really fighting, but just kind of getting them out my face. You understand what I'm saying? I decided to get myself together. I said, this fighting is not working. Let me just play it off. See, one thing, I got this shirt that says no bad vibes, right? With the peace sign. Survivors and people of trauma, we work off of vibes and intuition and things of that nature, especially girls, I believe. And, I decided to get myself together, and they transferred me to another part of the Willow Glen Academy program that was on Highland in Milwaukee. And it was like a group home part. And, we used to go skating in the other part of the program. And, I remember how to get there on the bus or whatever, just by watching where they would take us and stuff. And that right there was an amazement, because I'm from Chicago, and I was just in Milwaukee. And I had I guess a photogenic memory, I guess. And, I would take my skates and I would go, skating. And they'd be like, how the hell she did that one? You understand what I'm saying? I didn't ask or nothing. I just be gone, right? But this time, when it was cold outside and I had a nice coat, the sleeves came off or whatever the case was and stuff. It was a nice coat. And I didn't have a quarter to put in the locker. And I put it in there and left and went skating. I come back out, you know what I'm saying, from skating or whatever for to go. And I looked for my coat and it was gone. So I had to go back to the program with no coat. And it was cold as fuck outside. You understand what I'm saying? So I went back the next week. Next thing I know, I seen some girl look like a gangbanger. You understand? She was surrounded by gangbangers. And she had my coat on. And I walked up to her all by myself, right? You know what I'm saying? No fear, right? And I said, that's my coat. She said, no, this is my coat. I said, no, that's my coat, because I sewed the pocket up. And as I was saying it, I was reaching into the pocket, because it's not what you do, it's how you do it, and pulling it out at the same time. So if her friends, that were looking, you understand what I'm saying, decided they wanted to jump, I wanted them to see for themselves before they hit me that the pocket was sewed up. And sure enough, it was sewed up. And she had no choice but to give me my coat back. Okay, see, in the streets, people go by what they can prove, and then some people go by what they hear. You understand what I'm saying? I don't believe in that he say, she say. You understand what I'm saying? Seeing is believing. Action speaks louder than words. Now, I went back with 2 coats, okay? So that's one incident. I wasn't going to talk about that, but this is the part when I was homeless, not too long ago, a few years back. And, I was at the Greyhound bus station, and I stood outside, and it was cold in front of the Greyhound bus station. I seen some panties on the ground, little girl panties and stuff. So I stood up for the little girls and stuff. I could have went inside, but it was a spiritual thing with me, okay? And, when the sun came up, I went back in the Greyhound bus station, got a ticket, and, went back to Chicago. This is the spirit talking to you right about now, I guess. I don't know. Or my spiritual experiences. Another time, I was homeless and I went to Milwaukee. I was tired. I was real tired. I was looking for this homeless shelter that I had frequent before, but I couldn't find it. And I came across a bridge, like It was kind of like a little viaduct or something like that. And I wanted to lay down because I was tired, right? And I seen this bag that looked like somebody had just got out the psych ward or whatever and stuff, and it had some panties in it, or whatever. I said, "Oh no, I gotta get up, no matter how tired I am." And I got up and I started walking, and I seen a hill. It was, steep. I said, "Oh my God, I'm tired, and I gotta go up this hill." Took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. I made it up the hill tired, right? And guess what it was? It was a Sojourner Truth House for girls, but they wasn't occupying anybody. I said, that's interesting. I went in. I said, I need some help. It looked like y'all service, provider for people like me, homeless or whatever the case is. And they was like, well, we can't do anything for you and stuff, without the bam. I said, that's interesting. Can I use the bathroom? So I used the bathroom. Long story short, the lady behind the, in the office or whatever, behind the desk or whatever, she took a picture of me. I remember this. You understand what I'm saying? Now I'm tired, homeless, don't know what to do. And I said, can you call an ambulance? I need to be checked out. I feel like I'm about to die, right? And she's like, cool, no problem. I waited. Ambulance came. It was a white lady and a white man. Got in the ambulance. They acted like they was caring for me, but for the most part, they didn't give a shit. They took me to the hospital, took me into some room. I felt like they was, just treating me like crap, to tell you the truth. The way they was manhandling me, you understand? So I was like, you know what, forget that. I'm gonna go sit in the lobby. Just let me sit down for a little while, whatever. And the people in the lobby were just looking at me like, is she about to die? But nobody really concerned, right? And these are girls and stuff. And I'm like, that's interesting. You know how you tired, but you woke and you still, you ain't comatose and stuff, right? So that's how I felt. I'm like, I sat there about, I don't know, maybe it felt like an hour. And then I left, went back to Chicago. Now I said all that to say, I had a so-called friend by the name of Pilar Harris. And I believe she was in competition with me, and she she used to bother me at this place called Herrick House. You understand what I'm saying? Her and her little gang banging friends and stuff. I guess she wanted to be popular, and she looked at me like I was competition or something. I don't know. I just wanted to get some sleep and some rest. So, the more she bothered me, the more I tried to get to know her. She could play basketball. And, I would play with her. She knew I could not play as well as her. And she would, shoot my lights out pretty much. And, I go crying, boo-hooing, because I'm a sensitive person. I ain't going to lie. And I don't like being taken advantage of. And I don't like people bothering me on purpose and stuff. So I'm kind of like sensitive that way, since I didn't grow up with family, friends, and this, that, and the third. You understand what I'm saying? And you know when people are attacking you, and instead of going off, I cry a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Call me a crybaby. One day I was walking down the hall, and she was with her friends, and she pushed me in the wall. And that's how I ended up with 6 stitches. You understand what I'm saying? In my elbow. It's an old wound. And I had to get stitched up, but I told them not before I get some McDonald's and stuff, for real. They gave me some McDonald's, stitched me up, and I kept running into Pilar, later on in life or whatever. Um, Later on, I heard that Pilar herself told me that she was drunk at a party, and these guys violated her and left her for dead, and she has the scars on her face to prove it. Now, in 1995, when I gave my voice to the sound of music, 3 cassette tapes front and back, in the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech, I mentioned, Pilar Harris, because if I didn't in the cassette tapes, I definitely did, you know, in my book I was writing at the time, Award is Stay/Coming Out Hard. You know, some people would do anything, and I'm not talking about Pilar Harris, but some people, but if it does apply, you understand what I'm saying? You might want to correct yourself, would do anything to get your spot. You understand what I'm saying? They would, you know, what they say, they do anything for clout. They would, some of them would get shot. Some of them would get raped. Some of them, you understand what I'm saying? When they know you somebody special and gonna be big, they just want to be a part of your story or your life or whatever. Because I'm not understanding why these aggressors are not standing up for me. You understand what I'm saying? If not for me, for themselves. Growing up, people were getting killed that looked like me. You understand what I'm saying? Even in my AA meeting, a man came to me and said, "You too cool." Now, I've been in Alcoholics Anonymous, since '96, and Pilar just so happened to pop up in my meeting. Now, it's supposed to be anonymous. How did they study finding me is the question. Now, I'm not mad if a person trying to get their life together, but why are you trying to exclude me or eliminate me in order to stay relevant? That's the part I'm having a problem with. Now, I had this ex-girlfriend by the name of Lawana Joy Jacobs. She was just kind of like a plain Jane, cute young lady. And she stalked me for about 6 months to get my attention, And I was like, I know it's gonna be a problem. It's always a problem, right? So eventually I gave in to her temptation, if that's what you want to call it. But I also knew that I wasn't the only person she was interested in, meaning she could have been bisexual. But I figured after 6 months of her stalking me, she either was interested in the money I was making, or she was running from something, or she just had a sexual appetite for people that look like me, a man. You understand what I'm saying? And she just wanted to try some stuff. I don't know. I tried to get her to move in with me. I come to find out she wasn't interested in me. 9 times out of 10, she was just studying me because, people take my story on like a loose garment, like a trend of fashion statement or something like this. They don't believe that I'm fighting hard for the ones who were violated and died and should be, standing up, and be willing to stand up. I don't know if LaWanda was a hater on the low, but I tried to get her to wear this silky kind of dress or whatever. She didn't want to put that on and stuff. And she's the only girl that I know that asked me if she could, use a, dildo on me. And I'm like, no. Now I watch TikTok a lot, and it's this one girl, she could sing real good, and she was cute at one time, but then I seen she had cut her hair. Jessica Betts, she was a cute young lady, but I guess she wasn't making it like that. And she and I met at this party called The Taste, not too far from where I say 6210 South Kembark Avenue, Chicago, 60637. And we took a picture. It was around the time, she was on the show with Missy Elliott, Road to Stardom. And, I was like, if I don't make it, I think she'll make it. And sure enough, she did make it. She a part of that Oprah circle. And congratulations to her marriage, second year up and coming. But you got to look at it like this. If you're not a real lesbian and you turn somebody out that like you for what you look like now, it's going to be hard to get rid of that person. Yes, especially if you are they first. That's going to be an experience that they'll never forget. You understand what I'm saying? So people have to have good motives and intentions when being a lesbian or whatever they sexual orientation or whatever and stuff. You have to be true to yourself, because before I met LaWanda Joy Jacobs, I met this one girl. She was fine. You understand what I'm saying? And, she gave me a number and I slid, by her house or whatever. And she came out the room with a two-piece, teddy on, like a bra and panties. Said it was cute, but I was like, dang, for the first date, I wasn't expecting that. So she acted as if she didn't know I was a girl. So I had to tell her, because I didn't want to get killed in her house. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be careful, because people play tricks and mind games all day. So as fine as she was, I wasn't finna, die for no vagina. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if LaWanda is a stud, a lesbian, or married with children. I don't know. But I do believe she's studying me to figure out how to be, an aggressor. This is something that I've kind of like, you know, was born, I guess, to represent for the ones who really are. You understand what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. When I was a lesbian, I was a lesbian. When I met my other ex-girlfriend Donna Marie Evans on the bus, the King Drive bus, with my niece. And she being older than me, my ex-girlfriend Donna Marie Evans, banker, real estate agent, and I believe gang related. She gave me a number. I called. I was 18 at the time, and she was 27. And, I called, but I had men clothes on, but my breasts were protruding. She knew I was a girl. I wasn't, trying to be some other than I was. I wasn't trying to be a man. But she tried to turn me into like a man. And I don't want to be a man. I just want to be a real sophisticated lady. For real, now that I'm 55 and older. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, why y'all just didn't stand up? You understand what I'm saying? We all we got. I ain't finna die for y'all to be able to make it or whatever and stuff. If you're not a real lesbian, if you're just acting, you might want to stop it, because we pull whole cards all day. I was out and about yesterday, and I came across this studio, I guess where they do music or whatever and stuff. I give it some guy in a surprise kid. And these two girls, walked up, one of them looking like a young MA almost, a lot of tattoos, and another one in red and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And I said, I love me. I'm Mary Mack. It's in my heart. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk. Because the spirit guided me and stuff. Real talk. And, they was cool, but one of them, drank some water, when I put it on video. And today being Thirsty Thursday, young M.A. she say she's celibate. It's a celebration. I'm a fucker anyway. You understand what I'm saying? See, when you worse than the guys, I don't know what to do. So I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to break this crown, because it seems like that's what everybody want. They want to be a real person, but they ain't standing up like a real one. You understand what I'm saying? They just opportunists. My ex-girlfriend, she never cheered for me. You understand what I'm saying? She was there, but she never cheered. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is 12, and this is 3. That's 15. Okay? I am the manifestation of the Martin Luther King I have. My fault. Let me do it right. This is 12, and this is 5. This is 17. I gave my child abuse rap to Oprah Winfrey at the age of 17. In 1984. I said they beat me, stumped me, burned me, everything. I asked myself over and over again, how could this be a family? Until the age of 6, I felt like a brick. No love, no hugs, just a swift kick. Now, when the girls are worse than the guys, I got to question myself. What am I fighting for? Real talk. Now, this video is long. Hopefully, it's strong. My favorite number is 10. This on page 222. I was 6 years old in 1973 when I stood up for myself, and they put me in the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper for doing so. And I believe the railroad started then. My favorite number is 10. I'm known for 10 because, I had stole $100 for some candy. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I got this 2 from. And I was trying to steal $1, but I'm not a greedy person. So I tried to put it back in my foster mother, Betty Jean Repner's pocketbook. I was staying 1335 East 75th Street at the time. And that's where rap originated at, 75th and Kenwood. And when I tried to put the 100 back and get $1 for a 100 piece of candy tax-free, you understand what I'm saying? That's when she woke up and beat the shit out of my ass and shit, real fucking tough. So I said, in my little mind, you understand what I'm saying? The next time I take something, I'm just going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep whatever it is. So I took a $10 bill. And on the back of the $10 bill, it says, let me see if I got a $10 bill. Probably don't. Yeah, I got one. It says, on the front, I should say, it says, we the people. Right here. We the people. You understand what I'm saying? We the people, for the people, our people too. So when you look at me, and you remember this $10 bill, they got a group called Devotion. 10 City, my fault. A group called 10 City, and they made a song called Devotion. This is Joshua chapter 10, by the way. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing happens in this world by mistake. Now, if this video go through, cool. But if not, it wouldn't surprise me. No bad vibes, okay? If you don't want to stand up, that's your story. But I ain't taking no more ass whippings for you, okay? It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And with that, this we got a news report of Mary Dance between the Mary Lee. I ain't got no teeth because I ate a lot of candy growing up. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat candy no more. You see where it's going? I don't drink, drugs, smoke, or fornicate. I'm not trying to be your leader, shero, or hero. I'm just trying to be one of the ones that believe that a change has come. Don't let it slide by, because somebody else will take your place on something else. Okay, and everybody ain't gonna keep trying to save y'all. Stop trying to kill people who are trying to save you. Peace.